Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever and wherever you are. My name is Anna Rochelle, and today we are going to cover a question that seems to be popping up lots and lots of times, whether it's a homework assignment, a worksheet, or even a test. I've had several students actually tell me about this particular problem, and I figured it might be worth making a video for it. So this is coming from geometry students, although I can't imagine why it wouldn't come from a algebra class or even a course 3 class where you have 8th grade math pre-algebra, where you're talking about parallel lines and their transversals. So one of the things that we want to make sure that we note is that we can solve things like this, problems like this, as we work through a system of equations. So anytime we have two variables or more, we absolutely can use a system of equations. In this case, we have 3 variables, so we're likely going to have to use that. So now the one thing that I want to say is that it's super easy to set up these systems of equations. We do know, and I'm going to change the color, we do know that all of these, like these 2 lines are parallel here, this line and this line, and then this line and this line are also parallel. I did not draw that in, but we know that information. So if this guy is 57 degrees, this guy is also 57 degrees, this guy, all of these red angles that I'm marking here, those are all 57 degrees. That must mean that all the other angles are 180 minus 57, so that's 123, right? So I'm going to label all the other angles in this green color. So this is going to be 123 degrees. This is going to be 123 degrees. And look, we just found what X is. This guy's going to be 123 degrees. The rest also are going to be 123 degrees, although I don't think that it's absolutely worth mentioning all those other angles and spending time writing that in. So we know that Z plus Y is 120 degrees. So let's put that in. Z plus Y is going to be, oh, sorry. Just kidding. It's 57 degrees. And we also know that 4Z plus 3Y is 123 degrees. So we know this information here and this information here. Now, one of the things that we can do in order to solve the system of equations is by subtracting Z from both sides and getting Y on its own. Once Y is on its own, we can go ahead and replace this Y here with all of this information here, this 57 minus Z. So I'm going to end up with 4Z plus 3 times 57 minus Z equals 123. Now, we know that we're going to need to distribute this guy here. So we're going to end up with 4Z plus 150, 171. Why does that not look correct? That is correct, because 3 times 7 is 21, okay? And then minus 3Z equals 123. That really does not look correct. Hold on a second. So it seems like I actually did the correct math here, so I guess we're moving right along. Let's go ahead and let's combine like terms. So I have 4Z minus 3Z, which is Z. So Z plus 171 is 123. We're going to subtract 171 from both sides. And just to make sure I don't do the math incorrectly and look a little bit fishy at you, I guess Z is negative 48. That must mean that Y must be a larger number than Z, which actually does make sense, because if we replace this Z in here with negative 48, we're going to go in and we're going to say Y equals 57 minus negative 48. And when I have a negative and a negative, we're going to add that. And so Y is going to be 91 105, well, not degrees, but that's kind of where y is. And then we know that x is 123. So one of the things I want to mention here is that whenever you see two parallel lines like this, and it doesn't necessarily have to be those particular numbers, the numbers could be different. We definitely want to go in and double check and make sure that our graph is marked, or our parallel lines are all marked differently. So whether you're using two different colors, or for my kiddos who are colorblind, definitely go in and label it a little bit bolder, a little bit more, or leave it unlabeled at all. You want to distinguish the difference between the angles that you have and the angles that you don't have, and things of that nature, so that you're capable of setting up this system of equations. That's one thing. And the second thing is, you always want to make sure that you are aware of the fact that every level of math expects you to recall information from a previous level. So if you're in geometry, they expect you to know Algebra 1 material and all the material before then. If you're in Algebra 2, they expect you to know geometry and Algebra 1 and everything prior to that, so on and so forth. This is a given statement, regardless of which school you're in, regardless of who your teacher is, whether you are in a homeschool environment or in a public school or a private school. That is not an unreasonable assumption. Okay, I hope that this was helpful, and I will see you in another video. Bye.